Hello to our Gold viewers from around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, Director of Communications and MC for Gold Learning. I have the pleasure of chatting with Betsy Schwartz here today, and she's going to be speaking at our upcoming Gold Perinatal Conference 2017. And she's going to be talking about the fun factor, the science behind fun and play for increased learning. Well, welcome, Betsy. It's wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So
Yes.
we've been having so much fun today. I feel like this has been my favorite training all week with you, and you were invited here today so that we could get all ready for that Gold Perinatal Conference coming up, and we have laughed a lot. So I'm just so excited and get a chance to ask you some questions now so that we can talk a little bit about you and learn more about what you do on a day-to-day basis. So tell us, Betsy, perhaps you can talk a little bit about what you do in your professional journey and why, of course, this topic is important to you.
So yeah, I started my journey as a postpartum doula in 1991. Yes, I'm old. No. And I love to have fun. Well, that's not always fun in the course of the of being the postpartum doula for families, but generally speaking, life is fun. We take things so seriously all the time, and bringing humor to any situation is great. I got interested basically when I started my own creative process with developing a game, and I think it's the best way to learn, and the science shows it by having fun. So, yeah.
That's It's awesome. Well, it's great. And so tell me, you know, there have, when we think about learning, we have different elements. We were talking about this too, about online learning and engaging in the classroom and the differences. And of course, at Gold here, we love to make things fun all the time and engaging. But, often there is that element of just being very studious and being, quite dry at times. So can we really have fun in learning, and does it really improve the the outcomes? And is there really scientific evidence behind it?
There is, and you'll hear about it in my presentation. I don't want to give anything away here
Ah.
right now. But the fact is, adults can play too and have fun. Children play, and that's exactly how they learn about the world around them. So adults can do it too, and the science is clear on
Yeah,
that. It's more engaging. That's really
more
what,
engaging.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really the point of it. It's much more engaging. And when you're engaged, you learn more.
totally.
That's
And so
generally.
it really is interesting because when I immediately think about I'm a parent, like many of you who'll be listening in today, we are very focused on making sure that our children are having fun while they're learning, and we know that they do learn better through play. In fact, some children are that's the only way that they learn, and that can be hard sometimes too in the classroom. But it's interesting how we haven't really rolled this forward into some of the elements of learning as adults. Do you know why, Betsy? Like, do you know why there's sort of sometimes that hesitation to have that style of learning for adults?
Well, I think it's because we're all so busy, and we might be interested in learning, and maybe we think the only way that we've always known is by going to the book, taking the class, which is all great, but it's what's happening in the class. And when you're reading a book, it's just not, you're not going to retain as much. But that's how I was taught. Go to the
Right.
library, read a book, yeah, take the class. But I think that as adults, we just take everything so seriously. We have so much responsibility. And I think if we allow ourselves to have fun, we'd certainly enjoy life more,
I'm
for
all I'm
sure.
all about that. I just thought of the word that that I talk about sometimes, and it's this hyper responsibility that we feel today in everything that we do, and especially if we are advocates for learning, or we are natural learners, that sometimes there is this hyper responsibility about doing everything right and getting everything right. But at the end of the day, if we don't have I love this term, the fun factor. If we don't have it in our lives, then, with learning, it can be so dry and tedious. And then how are we really retaining that? That's what I always worry about because I have a retention issue, like many people. So I'm so excited actually to hear more about some of this science because I think for me as a analytical thinker as well, I need that. I need to know the process and so that I can put those things into some of my learning as well. So lastly, Betsy, I would love it if you could give us a little bit of a snippet, a takeaway that you're excited to share with our delegates for the upcoming full presentation. What is it that you're hoping that they'll take away from this presentation?
Well, first of all, I want them to have fun, an experience of fun for sure. And
Totally.
yeah, and be engaged with what's happening and be present and know that there's so many ways that they can create that with students, whether they be students in a classroom, online, or people that they meet. We're all teachers and learners. So I want them to be able to know that they can make it fun for whoever they're trying to teach.
Well, that's
Whatever they're
awesome.
trying to teach and to whoever the audience is.
Excellent. Well, you've certainly made this a lot of fun for me today. I have to say, like I said earlier at the top of the hour, we were having fun before we came online, and it really has been a pleasure hosting you today and learning more about you yourself and, of course, the fun factor. So we'll look forward to having you online at our Gold Perinatal Conference. You're going to be live on October 23rd. So that's going to be awesome. So for all of our delegates listening in right now, there's a couple of things we want you to do. Go to our website, goldperinatal.com. That way you will be able to connect with everything that's coming up for our conference. You'll be able to register for the full conference. We've got our 2 keynotes as well. Our kickoff date is October 2nd. And don't forget to look out for Betsy Schwartz. She's going to be talking about the fun factor, the science behind fun and play for increased learning on October 23rd. Check your local times as we're all right across the world, so we have different time zones. Check that time for yourself. Betsy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm looking forward.
Me too. And thank you again to our listening audience. We'll look forward to having you back again soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.